real good, and yes, you can pick off name value, but I think Riot's had a phenomenal run through the lower bracket. They're on a tear, and I would be scared to play them if I was Cringe Society right now.
Well, we will see how things go. We've got Cringe Society in the blue, Riot in the orange. Best of 7. First to 4 wins, moves on in the tournament. The drop down to Walcott, puts it up onto the backboard, and nearly got the 1-2-1. Leduc on the follow-up, gets the counter, gets countered on the goal line. Spidos to Walcott. Nice passing from Riot here in the beginning of game 1.
It's a quick start from Riot as well. Early attempts at the flash, and Walcott not willing to give up possession just yet.
Drippe will follow this out. Leduc takes it from him, puts it onto the backboard, and Jules will break up the pass. Drippe struggling to gain control here in the corner. Spidos will neutralize a challenge against him. And then Deca pinches it off the wall into the front of the orange, and then we'll win another challenge against Walcott. This one pinched across the goal line, but nobody else for the rest of Cringe moved forward, so Spidos will get a clear for free.
Yeah, there was a lot of space to work with there, and it's actually played out pretty well. Everyone missing the ball in the midfield. Free ball again for Leduc, and you know, that was maybe the initial worry for Riot of how are they going to do on the transition game, and so far in game 1, it's been looking pretty solid.
Yeah, it's been good. It's found the passes a few times, but in general, Cringe Society is blocking at the point of contact. And Drippe leaves this one bouncing. Jules with the open net. Walcott comes in from the side. Get a clear. Now the pass into Spidos. Nice infield pass off the post to back out. Counterattack. Jules and Deca crossing the midfield line. He'll win one challenge. Deca looks for demos in goal, but doesn't find anybody. Walcott will give it to Spidos, who gives it to Leduc. 3-player play just to get the ball back to midfield. Spidos takes to the sky after picking up midfield boost, but takes it the entire lateral length of the field. They cannot get this ball into the blue. Finally, Walcott will get one, and Jules immediately counters.
I love that patience from Drippe, just staying with that air dribble all the way. Never got antsy. You know, it's just that realization that the other person doesn't actually have anything here. You just let them throw everything they have as that pass slipped by Spidos, but Jules ain't able to get back around to it. And this one's been kind of a stalemate here at the midfield. 3 shots for Riot, none for Cringe Society just yet, but they've only been really beat on a couple of great transitions from Riot, even though none of them have borne fruit. Otherwise, Cringe Society looking pretty solid here in the midfield.
Riot doing a good job keeping this ball in the corner and away from their goal, but they're struggling to get a clear out of it, and it's meant extended pressure from Cringe for the last minute or so. Finally, a bounce goes their favor. Walcott will take it to the box. Deca clears it to Jules. Onto the sky, Leduc's going to try and challenge him here in the air, and he's going to do it. Gets that ball back into the back third of Cringe. Drippe will break up the pass, but Spidos able to move in quickly. Deca out and down to the midfield. Drippe tries, but continually losing challenges to Riot here as the passing lane barely blocked by Jules, and now he's going to look for the solo play in the air. Flip, reset, uses it over the top of 2, off the crossbar, down, follow-up from Deca's blocked. Where is Drippe? Here he comes, drops it into the box once more, but he can't get it to Deca. Spidos will break it up, will stay scoreless with 1:45 left to go.
Riot was definitely in a scary spot there. They went for an aggressive demo play, and this one actually going to find its way into the right side of the net. Drippe able to squeeze this one by a defender as Jules working a little magic to get it around a couple people, and Spidos a little late to cover the passing lane. Doesn't have enough to get all the way out to that one.
Fantastic placement from Drippe. Finds that far side. Sort of top shelf placement, nearly upper 90. And that'll put Cringe on the board for game number 1. Jules out of his corner. And rotate back, a little bit of indecision. He and Deca will both dive at a ball crossing the net, and then Drippe will get it back to Jules in the midfield. Tries to just push it straight on target, but it's wide, and Leduc takes it to the sky to stall for time. Deca will get it away.
Leduc's plan there was absolutely air dribble that one all the way to the other side, but he missed his initial takeoff. He mishit the ball, and so he kind of just had to waste all of his boost and see if he could win a challenge. And now Riot find themselves kind of jammed out in the midfield line, but they might have caught him. Spidos and Walcott kind of getting all over each other, but it's still enough to get by the last man here.
Now, what happened to Deca? He moved up. I think he just expected a better touch from Drippe. That one pinches straight past him, and that's the ball game. Tie game here with a minute left to go.
Did not realize it. You're right. Deca just thinking something else entirely was going to happen there, and victim to the gravity effect.
Deca now in a tie game, looking to take the lead back. Soft touch goes under Walcott, and Leduc able to catch Drippe on a miss. And this one going to go to Spidos on the back line after the midfield pinch. Drippe, long touch to midfield. Walcott plays it to the wall. Leduc over the top of Deca. He neutralizes though, just barely gets a bumper onto it, and Jules will push the issue. Into the box once more, tries to trap it and put it underneath the crossbar. Now Deca back to Drippe with an open net in front of him. Walcott gets the block off the crossbar. Deca, quick, tight rotation, tries to push it through, but couldn't get it between the post. Now Jules, actually his soft touch gives it to Leduc, and they will go back on to offense. 19 seconds left. Overtime starting to glimmer as Deca gets it over one. Walcott with another save. Savior medal for Walcott as Drippe tries to give it to Jules in the final 10 seconds. No team with solid positioning here. Spidos will get a great clear, but there's no follow from the rest of his team. I think we've got overtime unless we see a last-minute heroic. Deca and Jules going to try and do it. It's off the bounce. Get some cringe bounces there, but it's going to go to overtime for game one.
And Walcott reading the game incredibly well on defense, as you were saying. He's got great patience and does not rush something if he doesn't have to. It's definitely kept the rotation nice and intact for Riot on defense. As this game has gone on, they have had to play a lot more of it. Early on, it was looking good for them, and that one misses. They missed the ball, and Jules takes it all the way.
Deca past one. Deca past two as Walcott completely misses. An excellent position. What's the word I'm looking for here? Is Cringe Society take game number one. It was Deca on the wall, successfully separating the ball from that wall. There's an area of backboard defense. There's kind of a zone of a couple feet off the wall you're able to work with well. He got it out of that zone and is able to give it to Jules there for the win.
Yeah, the real killer is how he got back behind that ball after landing from jumping. That's what really beats Walcott right there, because that gives you that leverage to really push that ball out into that zone. And that's the hardest part to time as you're coming around that corner, is getting back behind that ball. So well done to the offense. And unfortunately for Walcott, just didn't have the space to make the adjustment, despite a couple of real great pushes early on. As that game went on, it really got, and look at Deca, gets right behind it with that flip, and that's what allows him to beat Walcott.
Walcott,
just pretty.
Coming out of the goal there, he got both of his wheels. The moment they curved the front of the pole, he lost his ability to dismount that wall with any meaningful depth. Had he read that pass was coming through and jumped off the wall, used the inner wall of the goal to attack the ball, he might have been able to reach it. But small things like that will remove you from the play, and generally an excellent pass from Deca.
Yeah,
Jules will finish it off.
You don't know how Deca's going to pass it in that scenario either. I mean, there's no guarantee that he gets back behind that ball. And, 9 times out of 10, Walcott's approach there is good.
Well, 2-1 in overtime will be the result of game number one. Cringe Society take the early lead. Jules off the wall gets all of that one. And Spidoge with some space. We'll get a counter clear, but quick touch from Drippe and a stall from Leduc give control to Jules. Spidoge back to the corner. Drippe to the outside. It's Leduc. Curves around. Walcott plays it to the corner, and Deca will crash on in, just try to take control of Drippe from the corner. Oh, well placed, but cleared. Saved by the Riot defense.
And here you're really starting to see Riot have to work overtime on defense. Doesn't feel like they quite have the command, but that's a nice demo from Walcott. Gives him space, and Leduc, he was aiming for a spot, just missed it.
Spidoge to the corner now. Able to win that wrestling match, but lose the next one as it comes down in the midfield. Leduc will keep it low underneath the challenger. Deca with a read, sends it towards the goal and in! Oh my goodness, just the precision from midfield will catch the defense.
Surprise, surprise. Walcott here chilling around the box, has to dodge a demo, thinks Leduc has the ball, and I don't think he even realized that one was coming back the other way until it was too late.
3:41 left to go in game number two. And Riot have the lead, Cringe have the lead. They're winning game one. It's a nice start. Spidoge through one, dripping out of the corner. Walcott off that side. Here's Deca, placed well, reaches it away from the defense just as far as he could out of their grasp. They got a 2-goal lead now.
Great shot, but Drippe is the one that makes this play happen. Follows Walcott into the corner, steals the boost, and prevents him from ever being able to catch up to that ball. Well played from Drippe. Just continue through the box, even if it isn't necessarily going to mean a bump or demo. Runs enough interference, and on the kickoff, does not have anything else.
Walcott back following the mid boost grab. Dirtbay out of this corner will try to challenge Leduc, but it's Deca that emerges with control, gets it back into the box, and Spydoge with a long clear. Walcott will chase. Not read Drippay's touch, and Deca will get it back to Drippay. Leduc has a little bit more room to work with on this one. And we'll get the stop, and now Spydoge. Jules, what a challenge! And into the goal! That was some pretty work. 3-0 now.
Now here's where you're working the mind game. That takes a real good skip, and that hard power slide to the left really gets the defender to bite. But that's a quality fake from Jules. You know, they think that chip is coming off the wall or something to try and beat him, and Jules just turns right back away and muscles it through. That's a great mind game.
Brilliant stuff. And now a 3-goal lead for Cringe.
Boys, you got
Jules
this.
will try to make it 4 to drop it down. It gets a little bit too much power on it. It'll bounce back up above before there can be a follow-up. But Deca now down. Leduc waiting patiently, and we'll get the challenge after the first touch. We'll drip into the corner. Actually, somehow gains control of that. Spydoge will guide the ball to the side and away from his goal. But at this point, Riot, with their hands full, Drip over the top of one, looking for a double tap, nearly drops it in. It's just wide.
And it really does feel like Jake is looking like an absolute genius there on the desk with how he thought this one was going to play out. It's the mechanics, it's the control that Riot are just a little bit behind on. You know, they just don't have the accuracy on the touches, and they're not executing in situations that they need to execute on in terms to find clears and get space on the field. And that's just letting Cringe Society run circles around him at the midfield line.
Oh, Deca dismounting the back wall nearly finds an obscene goal number 4. But this one will come away again, and right now, Riot struggling to find goals as a decent opportunity goes off both posts and out. That was the best scoring opportunity we've seen from them really this entire game. They only have 4 shots to their name right now and only 1 goal in the series.
Looking good. That's a great pass from Leduc, but you can't blame Spydoge for not being right on that one. He was just rotating out of the corner after stealing some boost, and that's a boomer of a clear from Jules. Deca not able to put the one on target. And Leduc, see, that's what we're talking about. The mechanics just not quite there. Doesn't execute the flip reset, and they get the ball stolen away in the midfield, and now they're back to fighting for possession. And Walcott doing well to break out, but can they turn it into a shot?
Leduc on a very tight rotation keeps the ball in the box, but leaves them with no third man. Spydoge has to go for the full rotation. Now off the ground, he gets it just almost over Deca there, but ran on the boost and wouldn't have been able to chase it himself anyways. Now Leduc and Walcott trying to work together and get this long ways down into a corner. Leduc will loft it to himself, but then loses control in the midfield to Deca. Puts it onto the backboard. Reverse Goomba Spydoge. The shot set up for Drippay, who puts it just high the crossbar, and Jules can't seem to get it around the post either. 24 seconds left, though, and up by 3. This game all but over. Just a matter of formalities at this point. Cringe going to take a 2-0 lead in the series with a suffocating victory here in Game 2.
Yeah, this was an all-around excellently played game of Rocket League from Cringe Society here. Just like what we were talking about yesterday, you don't have to do anything special. You play calm, cool, collected, you play solid, and you trust that your natural mechanical ability and your decision-making is going to be enough to beat the defense. And in this game, it absolutely was. It was really just, all right, we're controlling the boost. Just don't make a mistake, and they're not going to beat us. That's exactly what happened.
Well, Cringe Society, that is exactly what happened here, is they put up 10 shots to just the 4 from Riot, and I feel like this game must have happened more in the front third of the orange half than in the back third, because I honestly, Chiefs, expected that number to be higher. I expected there to be a larger disparity between the shots here, as Cringe Society strung together all of the creative passes and quite a few excellent shooting opportunities. All the saves in the world here from Riot wasn't able to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, the real pressure of what Cringe Society was doing in that game was just their ability to win possession at that midfield line, stopping those clears. And sometimes a couple of those shots get registered. But it's all in their ability to hold on to the ball. That's the real value of boxing the opposition in, because eventually, you know, they might make a mistake. Or what also was happening, you know, Riot was seeing there's an opening, and they would really try and rush to flood that gap and take a big risk. And it got them a couple of opportunities, but more often than not, they just weren't in position to really execute, or the mechanics let them down, and then they might have been caught out of position here or there. Not to mention that a couple of the goals they let out kind of surprised them in that previous game as well.
Well, as we get into game number 3, right now, Riot's starting to feel the pressure here.
Yep.
Down by 2, you lose this game and you're really in a rough situation. So a must-win game for Riot. As Deca sends it to the midfield. Leduc to the edge, Walcott to chase this one, gets it onto the backboard, but Jules is right there. Keeps pace on that ball. Spidoge has an excellent read and now comes back down, trying to push it between the posts. It's just wide again, and a pinch from Deca sends it long. Jules will chase this one. Looks like maybe out of boost, but just puts the pressure on Spido so he can't get as good of a clear. Tries to get the pass across field to his teammate. Dripe's there, catches it, goes for the slow play onto the wall, wins it enough against Walcott. Deca shoots it. Spido's got the block in the front of the box. Excellent defense.
Yeah, Riot might have made the save there, but they were really tied up in knots. I mean, that was not a clean catch from Cringe Society as that ball went across the net. It took them a bunch of time. And the fact that Riot, even made that save is just a product of not well executed pressure. But now they might have caught Jules. It's a race. Too fast.
Oh, from his goal, the long-range howitzer play. Hey, there's no one backward. Let's just shoot all the way down. Riot's on the board.
Nice shot there from Walcott, rotating back towards the goal, and ball just happens to pop his way, and it's all a matter of, do you put it on the right line? The answer is yes. You might catch the defense one step too far forward, trying to keep that pressure going, and you got it right there.
Well, we will see now how Cringe plays from behind, as they have led or been tied at all points in this series.
Ooh.
That was a clever move from Walcott. So Leduc will try to pass up to his teammate. Ball will outdistance him, and Dripe try and come around the edge. Leduc now challenging Jules in the corner, not going to find him. Spido's under the wall, and he's kind of alone here on an island. Going to try and get the pass down to Walcott, who half rotated in. And Dripe's not actually able to get it enough. Spido's over the top of him. Does this a little bit of misdirection maybe from Walcott here on the pass, but mostly by himself.
Yeah, gonna look at it from Dripe's perspective. Oh, he doesn't even realize Spido stayed with it. Looking at Dripe's camera, he was on ball cam, so he saw that ball go right over his head. So he has no vision of anyone else on the field. So I don't think he thought Spido was gonna try and stick with that. That's why he didn't jump.
Well, yeah, explains the lack of altitude. Jules in misdirection got 2 defenders on that. Can they wrangle this ball in time? I don't think so, as Jules will try to go for a ceiling shot, but Walcott will deny. And now push it to midfield. Dripe punts it into the midfield. Spido's drops it back down, and then Dripe has to push it to his own corner. We'll get it through one player. He's got Deca and Jules in the midfield. Can he find either of them? No flip reset to work with, and Walcott will counter Jules. Deca hung back in the third man. Walcott wins that challenge as well. Can he get it across? No, Jules will be just enough in the way and emerge with ball control.
And this is going to be interesting situation here for how you go forward. Like you were saying, how do you play from behind? And initially, I think my thought process was don't change anything, because it's been working so far. But when you're down by 2 with 2 minutes, you may start to feel like you need to do something. And I'm curious to see if that results in Cringe Society trying to stretch some of these pushes, get a little more aggressive, take a bit more space to see if they can get the defense to crack, or if they just, stick on the path they've been going.
Oh, looking for the double tap. Deca's not going to get it, as Walcott and Spidoge are able to counter here, and they'll get it through the midfield. Jules alone in his corner with the 2-touch trap. Leduc through one. Deca out of the sky as Dripe rotates in the net. Now up. Pass up towards Deca in the corner. Not going to win it. Spidoge gets it away, and Walcott actually doesn't touch that. Here comes Leduc now. Made a misdirection. Possibly opens up the double tap window. Gets it past Dripe. Here's Walcott, but challenged out of the net. Will not go through. Riot holding on to this 2-goal lead for now, as they're going to try and make it 3.
Not much time. Oh, this is good, though. This could be a good transition. Oh, but that pass from Jules. Too much power. Gave it away.
Jules up to Dripe. Is this in? Oh, just wide, and Leduc had the near post covered. Deca now to the outside. Into the midfield for Dripe. Still trailing by 2.
Whoa.
Hoping to get to that 3-0 lead in the series.
Nice.
Deca drops it into the goal. Is it in? No! Walcott covers it. Drippy back into the box, and here's Deca.
Wow.
Okay, they get the first goal. What a... I'm so proud of Deca for staying with this.
Yeah, the fact Deca even hit it that hard really scared that defense. They sent 2 people after that one. I don't even think it was in. And yeah, Deca just saw Drippy out over in that corner and says, hey, it may come back to me, and there it was.
39 seconds left. They've got a chance here as Walcott sends it to the sky. Deca needs to make a strong touch. It actually doesn't get much of a clear, but it's enough of a play combined with Jules to break up Walcott's goal. Here's Spidoge, though, trying to get that lead right back. It drops to Leduc, sends it on target. Spidoge tries to redirect it, but no. Oh, man.
It's dangerous.
Jules
it's dangerous.
gets it to Deca. Is it on? Oh, Walcott recovers on the retreat defense. Jules is there. 2 defenders run for it. Open net for Drippy if he can get this one down to Deca. Now back into the goal again. They beat it with Spidoge just to the corner with 9 seconds left. Leduc gets a pass 1. Jules,
nice.
Patient play. Waits for Drippy to find a bump, but Walcott's upfield. They kill all of the time. Riot, they find that lead early.
What?
They play just strong enough defense here as Drippy will get the pass across, but no, Spidoge will get it to it. Empties on the field. Nobody's going to find that, and that is Riot coming back into the series.
Riot, oh gosh. Having them both drive towards that ball in the corner was like watching a car wreck in slow motion. I was like, wait, no, don't. You cannot afford to miscommunicate right here. Thankfully, it worked out. They got that ball all the way back out to the midfield line. But Cringe Society, whew, that was a couple of real good looks right there at the end. They almost caught Riot with the hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah.
But they made it back in time.
Slightly better shooting from Cringe Society, and this game is in overtime right now. And Riot definitely gave them some openings, but generally we've seen from these teams, the double commits, it's almost like you need a second mistake for them actually to matter at this point because of how many touches it's taking for these teams to get in position for their shots. So right now, Riot definitely benefiting from a slower rotation from Cringe there and doing what needs to be done for these teams to get it done on defense there. So solid stuff from them as they take their first win.
And really the 2 goals that Cringe Society allowed in that game were kind of just, sometimes those happen, right? You know, the shot from Walcott all the way from his own half. I mean, the ball just popped right out to him, and Jules is just caught grab and boost in the midfield. Wrong place, wrong time. And then at the same time, the second goal, you know, Drippy just had that ball go straight over his head, and Walcott looking to pick up where they left off. Game 4 looking good. True start with for Riot.
I agree with you that the 2 goals in game 3 were a little bit of, well, those just sometimes happen, but this one was created. Riot definitely string it together on offense, and the Cringe defense couldn't put a bumper onto it. Leduc will take to the sky. Looking for goal number 2. Drippy has the save. Walcott going to lose this one to Deca, more or less. It goes laterally, and now Drippy will look for Deca upfield. Through 2. Leduc falling back. He gets a stop, and this one goes in front of the goal. Jules, soft touch. Walcott and Leduc both up working. Drippy push it in. No. Deca's there. Puts the brakes on him. Gets a double commit out of him. Jules is just not there to put the shot on target, though. A little bit too midfield, too neutral of a position.
Yeah. Tried to give himself a lot of options in terms of how that ball might go across the net, and unfortunately, the one angle that Deca gives him, he can't score it. Almost scored that one from the corner.
That was a disgusting angle. And here comes Walcott now back down the field. As Riot will hold on to their 1-goal lead for the first minute. Jules wins another challenge. Jules' challenge game has been particularly strong.
I think
constantly
but I would agree with you. Jules in particular has been looking especially good. That's a nice pass from Leduc out to the corner. Only one there is going to be Deca, and that's a stall from Leduc. But you're right. Jules has really been holding things together in a lot of key spots for Cringe Society, especially out of that midfield line, and giving them a lot of extra chances to try and get that ball back into the middle. This one he dumps off to Spidoge, and free clear for Drippy. Bye, ball.
Drippy put that one the entire length of the field. Walcott, excellent catch and carry to immediately counter that touch, but there's Jules again winning another challenge, and Leduc's got to try and deal with the mess that came from it. Gets it to the corner. Spidoge off the wall. Leduc will be far back, and Deca actually not going to do much with it. Drippy will come in to cover it up. But 3 players from Cringe there burning their all 3 players burn their tank of boost just to get the ball across midfield. And of course, they have to fall back now. And here comes the rest of Riot. Walcott going for slow plays, flicks one. Drippy gets it on the goal line and pushes it away. They'll be holding on to defense for now, but an excellent stop from Drippy.
Oh, and that's a nice clear from Deca, but now you're seeing Cringe Society kind of run into the same situation that Riot was in early in this series, forced to just dump the ball away, and they just don't have the ability to trap the ball, really gain possession. And Riot giving them a taste of their own medicine right now.
Drippe got bumped to the sky and was out of boost, so he's been out of the play for a bit. He should be refilled and have a pretty solid understanding of the situation there, as he does win a nice challenge in the corner. Now Jules up against Spydoge off the wall. This one goes across the Drippe, tight angle, but he gets it into the box. Jules tries to flip into it, but misses, and now Walcott back down the middle of the field, going up against Deca, flicks one, Jules covers it in net, and Drippe will look for the counterattack.
Oh, a big punt from Drippe too. This is a real dump and chase.
Oh, miss from Leduc, or from Jules. Will give the ball to Leduc. And counter. Oh,
it's
work
free.
done by Drippe. They leave the net open, and Spydoge, excellent positioning, will tuck in a second goal.
Yeah, Deca, that's not his fault. It looks like it's his fault because he gets beat in the midfield, but the only reason he gets beat is because he thought Jules was coming up with that touch earlier. Jules with a clean whiff, let Leduc over his head, and Deca just couldn't cover the gap.
So we see Deca moving forward after seeing Cringe get up 2 games in this series. They're looking to drop both of them and go into game 5 tied at 2 apiece. Deca to the backboard. Spydoge to the outside. Jules now. One more touch. He went for Leduc in goal, but Walcott had done all of the defensive work needed on the backboard. Deca out to Drippe. Drippe and Leduc go neutral, and Jules will try to challenge Leduc. Gets a long clear out of this one. Can they chase it this time?
Oh, great catch. That's actually a killer touch from Walcott. You get those balls trapped up against that backboard right up near the corners, that's going to kill all the momentum from Cringe Society, because they're going to have to hit the brakes in the midfield and see what you do with the ball, and that's just going to really blunt the spear, so to speak.
Oh, Drippe nearly falls on that. Jules is there. He puts it through. Excellent positioning, or the nice aggressive push from Cringe gets them on the board.
Yeah, this is the exact opposite situation where you want to catch the ball on the goal line, but instead it gets a little too far away from you and you can't make it back.
With 1:04 left to go, Cringe give themselves a chance in the final minute. Spydoge off the wall. Drippe, long shot. Walcott will have it covered to the corner, but Jules is already there, and Spydoge covers him like a glove. You didn't even know Jules was there. Drippe try to get out of his corner. Through Spydoge. Leduc sends it high. Here's Deca into it. Looks for Drippe in the corner. No, just to the goal, and Spydoge off to the side. Long touch. Jules countered by Spydoge. What a touch. Chasing that one through the air. Actually winning a second touch challenge after setting it up for yourself. But Deca to Jules.
Duck.
Oh, that was nearly the play of the series, but Leduc breaks it up, and now Drippe up against Spydoge. Got to stop this one. Traps it so well, but Jules is there. Bumped off the ball. Leduc gets a clear. 18 seconds left, and Riot is holding on, looking for some security, but Drippe denies on the goal line. 12 seconds left. They've got to hold on to control and get this one all the way down. That demo does open up so much space for Riot to move forward and just push this game into the dirt. Walcott sends another one down. 2 seconds left. Clock has expired. They've got to keep it in the air, and this one looks kind of outdistancing both of them. It will. Riot puts it into the ground. 2-1, 2 games in a row, and they've come right back into this series.
All right. Said they needed to turn things around, and they've done it. Answer. Well, look at them go. Leduc, Walcott, Spydoge. I think the biggest thing that's going their way is they're starting to solidify that defensive rotation. Early on, it feels like every shot on target is a double commit and running into each other, and that's costing them those precious few extra seconds. Now that they've started sorting that out, they're in position more often to meet Cringe Society at the point of contact and get themselves a bit more possession and even things out a little more. And now you're just seeing who can execute better. And the answer right there is, again, a couple of weird misses, to be quite honest. You know, Jules giving up this big breakaway here is the difference. It looks like Deca's beat, but like we said in the game, that's all because Jules just doesn't make an easy touch. And it's the difference maker in that one.
I think one thing that Cringe could look at after these last 2 games, their clears, they are getting all of their bumper behind the ball and clearing the length of the field every time, but it's less that they aren't suffering from too much pressure right now, and those clears are the sort of thing you need when a team is absolutely suffocating you in their half.
Gotta force them off.
Yeah, and those clears, when you're not suffering from that sort of suffocation, really are just conceding control to the other team. They're constantly feeling like, oh, that's a good clear, but it doesn't matter because Riot is constantly pushing it right back, and they're sticking with the ball closer, at least in games 3 and 4. So as we go into game 5, tied up at 2 apiece, next win gets match point. We'll see which team's able to adjust better.
And in terms of keeping control of the ball for Cringe Society, I actually think the biggest determining factor on that is going to be Deca, but look at Drippe just trying to force one through the goal line. Ball just gets stalemated in the air. Drippe down in the middle for Deca. This one right down the middle, and they run into each other. They both catch a piece of it, and the momentum is going to favor Cringe Society.
What a wild series of events. An excellent pass. And read there. Deca puts it through, and Walcott just doesn't barely get enough. Guy has to deal with his teammate crashing in as well.
Leduc stuffed Walcott's clear.
Well, that's goal number 1 for Cringe. They're happy to be back on top. So far, goal number 1 has been very informative. Jules to the outside, Spydoge past 2 players. Drippe alone in the backfield. We'll pick this one up and punt it long ways.
And right after that of course comes right off the back of me saying they're ironing out some of those double commits with any shot on target. Well, there's one to kick one off.
That's not the way you want to play defense. Jules with the attempt here. Through 2, Spydoge up, Deca. We'll keep this one lofted, and Jules has, I guess, the more boost in this situation, the better read. I thought Walcott would be able to get to the ball first, but here's Deca off the ceiling, into the box once more. Back down. Jules with the attempt. Drippe. To the other side of the field, Spydoge will adjust. And try to go for the dribble. He's got Walcott in the midfield if he wants to try and get a pass, but no, just takes it straight to the net. Zones Drippe off this ball, leaving space for Walcott, but Jules is there.
Yeah, Deca got to hustle back. You need that touch. And the reason I'm thinking that whole issue of control for Cringe Society is going to come from Deca is because he's the player in the Dominus, and the Dominus is the car that is so easy to get a lot of power on the ball, and you got to be real delicate with your approach if you're trying to trap it and gain possession.
Drippe will take it out of this corner. But Walcott was there first. Now Jules to Drippe, who's now upfield. He'll win a challenge, and Leduc alone in his back third. Doesn't get enough of a setup, and Jules finds just the finesse to put it in. 2-0 now for Cringe.
Oops. Really nothing else to say here. Leduc just tries to catch this one, and I could not tell you for the life of me why he jumped to try and catch that.
I think he was maybe just trying to pinch it and send it up.
Maybe.
Buy some time, but still, excellent play from Jules and a team that has sort of struggled with the more detailed touches this series. That's the sort of one the sort of opportunity you don't want to let slip away from you.
Yeah, that's really just you gave up a freebie there in a fairly routine, if not the easiest situation. It still comes up fairly often, and sometimes you make the wrong choice, it just pops it right up. And Leduc will get one. Oh no, he won't! Off the post and all the way back into the corner.
Absolutely robbed. Spydoge now to try and make up the difference, but no, Deca stands in the way. Jules out of this corner, 2 minutes left on the clock. He's happy just to burn some time. They got the 2-goal lead, and that's been plenty in this series. This is Deca. Pass across the field to himself, apparently, as Spydoge will push that through Jules. Drippe out of the back. Lofts it. Leduc to the edge. Spydoge now trying to get it to Walcott. Connects well, but Deca carries it off the backboard before the follow-up could come through and double tap it in. Out to Drippe, long ways down the field. Here comes Cringe.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice press. But Jules gives up all the space. He might be low on boost. Yeah, only 12. And great trap there. That's what we were talking about. You got to force him to back off and see what happens, and Leduc is forced to take it all the way back to his own half.
Drippe with the ambitious read on Leduc there. No, I'm not going to quite get bumper onto it, but Cringe Society feeling strong with their lead as Deca sends it towards the goal. Walcott to the corner. Jules with the attempt. Drippe through another. Leduc with a miss. Spydoge's got to play this one on the goal line. Lots of space given by Cringe. And Spydoge will win that challenge, but Leduc maybe starting to get into his own head a little bit.
Well, I think now is the time for Riot. You really have to, take a moment here, because 50 seconds to find 2 goals is not a lot of time, and you can't afford to make a reckless mistake or feel pressured. You're never going to be able to make the big play if you're overthinking it.
Many demolitions here, creating holes on both sides. So the duck will fly in. 30 seconds left. Riot very much pressed here. Struggling to find any productivity on offense right now. Gotten 5 shots, and they have had their good moments that have just been straight up unlucky in a few times, and other times just the defense throwing the cars in the waves. It's always pinballed out. With 9 seconds left, things looking good for Cringe. Spido's just gonna have to find a crazy pinch goal here, and it's not gonna happen there. Game 5 gonna go the way of Cringe, and we're gonna go into Game 6 with them on match point, 1 away from the finals.
A gift. That's what this one feels like for Cringe Society. A gift. You know, both those goals completely preventable. You know, Spido's just crushing Leduc early on, concede early on what's an easy clear. And then after that, you know, they just pop one up and give away a freebie. So this one could have easily been an overtime, but that's what happens when you're under pressure. You don't make the right choice. You feel like you got to make something happen, and mistakes occur in high pressure situations. And that's exactly what you saw here in Game 5.
It was very much the Cringe Society show.
Look at this, Leduc.
He tries. The format, I don't know.
You can make the inverse argument too. I mean, you could say that Walcott blocked Leduc's clear, right? Like,
yeah, but that's the nature of a double commit, right? Both players have an equal opportunity, so they're both going for it. Or sometimes you have the double commits where one player very much does not have an opportunity, and he's very much.
What are you doing?
This is the flagrant double commits. But yes, it's just that sort of communication and maybe panicking on the goal line that would need to be sorted out for this team to really shine and hit that level of consistency. That would mean that they could beat Cringe every single time. Here's a nice setup, and Walcott will put it in. Riot's going to start on top.
There you go. Leduc turning things around. This is a nice little catch here, and down to it quickly. You can see him boost to the floor. That's what gives him that little bit of advantage going into that second challenge to get that ball off the wall, and Walcott, quality finish. Right side, away from the defense.
Neutral. Very neutral kickoff here as Jules try to push it through the wall of Riot players. Walcott passed to Spidogen on target and in. What a play there as they go up by 2.
Razor thin margin here. Walcott, that is quite a touch to make. I am not sure if he knew how far away Spidoge was when he went for that pass, but I love that Spidoge, caution to the winds, went straight for it anyway, took the shot from far away, and it had enough mustard on it.
Man, in a 2-touch goal for Riot. Most goals taking 2 or 3 to get properly set up and fired upon the net. That sort of efficiency, they'll win this series hands down if they can keep up that level of shooting here. And 2 goals in the first minute.
Yeah.
Cringe Society's got their work cut out for them now.
You are playing cautious here if you are Cringe Society. Easy to let the game run away from you. You got to make sure you're stabilized here. You've got 4 minutes, plenty of time to work with. You've given up 2 early ones, and those can often be the hardest ones, even though you've got a bunch of time, because you just are forced to be a little more aggressive because you know you have to make at least 1 up.
Spidoge will try to connect with Leduc. Looking to make it 3 goals. An excellent shot, and Drippe makes the save. Goal line defense staying strong, but now looking for the playoffs on the other side of the field. Get the neutral touch, but Leduc crashes in from the side. And Deca just has to back off. He'll come in from the midfield to pinch off the post and away. Drippe and Deca tried to combine their powers, but they will still not have a goal here in Game 5.
Deca half rotating right there after making it look like he was faking out. Drippe cannot read the passing lane. Leduc to Walcott, make it 3-0.
They were going to Game 7, Chiefs. Walcott on the outside puts in the 3rd goal, and this has been every game. Whoever scores first just kind of runs away with it. Game 1, the closest we've had, the only overtime.
Yep.
Everything else has been if you were on the board at the beginning, it's you. I feel like it's the confidence these players gain from having that lead. They play cleaner, and they're just able to maintain it through the rest of the 5 minutes.
We did see a 3-goal comeback yesterday, though. It is definitely not impossible. It's just a matter of, do Cringe Society start the comeback with enough time to really make it realize its full potential? And that was a great opportunity, but again, Walcott, like we talked about earlier in the series, reading the game excellently in terms of getting out in front of passes.
Jules and Drippay chai, but Leduc put it onto the wall. Spidoge across the field, and Deca now will pick it up out of his corner. Nice flick. Leduc's got it red, though. Excellent pre-jump. And Drippay push it back out of his half. Tries to chase it himself. Spidoge is there. Nice touch from Leduc. Spidoge not going to be able to pick up the pass, though. Jules breaks it up and Deca out of this corner. At halftime, down by 3 and trying to just chink away at this lead. This one drops dangerous for Drippay, puts it into the goal. There's the first start.
Now, that's a tough one to handle, actually, for both teams here. Drippay, that's a quality read off of an awkward touch, and Spidoge also coming out of the corner as that one's up near the top of the pitch. You know, that ceiling is playing havoc. You're not sure if it's going to hit that lip and kick out or go straight down, and so he just tries to get out in front of it and kick it into the corner, but slightly mistimed it, mispositioned a little bit, and Drippay with time to recover. Gets him back within 2. Jules wants it off the kickoff, and that is going to be muscled in from Drippay. And can they start the comeback with enough time? Answer, absolutely.
They have 2 and 12 left to get one more goal. And momentum shifting so quickly here. Riot now having to just gather the wits about them. Remember, hey, we could do this. We've been playing this game well. And we'll see if it happens here. But those 2 goals quickly. Honestly, those are the 2 easy ones. It's this next one that is the real question. When you're down by 3, you start to be like, okay, cool, let's just play some Rocket League. Let's just go, you know, like it's... And you start to gain that confidence back as well, but now the crunch time comes. Drippay with Deca, the one Walcott! Oh, what a play! They tie it up!
Thought Drippay was going for a flip reset here at the end of this air dribble, and he missed it, but luckily he's got a helping hand from Deca. Goodbye, Walcott. Doesn't matter how well you're reading the game if you can't make a play, and that is a wide open goal.
If you're a Riot fan, you can blame me. Caster Curse is live and well. I was calling the game with 3 minutes left to go, and I should have known better. Walcott now off the wall. Leduc not there. It's an open net. Drippay puts it in. Are you kidding me?
Hello, physicality. Welcome back to the pitch. Walcott cannot lift that ball to the safety of the midfield line. Pings it off the ceiling. Demo coming from behind the last man. Doesn't even see it coming. And again, freebie for Drippay. That's 4.
Can Riot bring it back? 4 goals in such quick time. They've actually given Riot plenty of time to tie things back up as Drippay shoots for the far side. It's just wide. Spidoge to try and chase this one. Walcott's going to look to keep Jules out of it. It's on target. They tie it back up. What a game.
Oh, what a mistake. Deca goes for the demo and misses, and Jules thinks he has time to grab boost, and then he ends up having to dodge a demo with Spidoge on a dribble back the other way. Oh, goodness. So risky, and they are punished.
This game got out of control fast. Drippay with a clear miss. Here comes Leduc, but Deca will shut it down just enough. Jules to turn on this one, and now retreating defense from Riot. Gonna have to cover this up. Better play it off the wall. Jules sends it to the goal, and now out in front of the goal. Drippay with a miss. Spidoge will also be out of position. Where's Deca? Oh, he gets bumped in the midfield. Leduc and Deca will pinch it to the side. Spidoge, long shot. Jules will take care of this one. And for once, goal number 1, no longer the definition of the game. Both teams with opportunities to lead. Deca gonna go try and get it through as Drippay tries to bounce off Spidoge. Jules there! Leduc coming back in the goal, saves it.
Hello, Leduc. Hero save. Critical moment. Under a minute, and you pull that one off the goal line. That's pretty. And Leduc with a clear to Spidoge. Things are gonna equalize here.
Cringe has been so physical in the last minute and a half. Every time they're in the back third, they're swinging through the net, looking for anybody. With 30 seconds left, we had a 1-1 overtime in game 1. We might have a 4-4 overtime here. And if Cringe are able to push this through and get the win in game 6, it's all over for Riot, and Cringe will have the match against Ground Zero.
That physicality, it's completely blindsiding the Riot defense as well. They don't even see him coming. Deca trying to squeeze this one into a gap. Spidoge with a clear. Jules cannot fit him by it either. Spidoge with 2 big blocks, and we've got overtime in game 6.
1 goal is all that separates Cringe Society from the rematch. Deca through the air, trying to do it himself right now. To the outside. Riot trying to play for the win. Jules off the post. Here's Deca. Soft touch back in. Spidos holds his ground on the goal line. Third shot blocked at the point of contact. Back out to midfield. Leduc
nice.
soft touch to Spidos. They get it around one and Drippe onto the wall. Leduc through another. And Jules catches. Back to midfield here. Walcott manages to dodge a demolition and get the punt onto the backboard. Spidos holding onto it in this corner. He's got Walcott in tow.
A smart play from Walcott there. Let that one go. You're not sure what's going to happen. Give yourself a little extra breathing room. You don't want a weird pinch to pull your teammate out of position or just have him not be able to get back to something. So I think it was good of Walcott to let that play lie.
Oh, man, all three of them moved up and with no real positioning. Jules and Deca put themselves into no man's land. Walcott gonna get the obscene shot. It's just high. Jules puts it up. Leduc can't quite get it on top of him. And Drippe gets the much-needed clear. Cringe Society, we're on the ropes.
And right back on them, too. I mean, they're forced to play some real defense now with that demo. Walcott, not sure if that was the touch he wanted. And now it's going to be a battle for the ball at the midfield line.
Jules down and towards the goal. He got it upper 90, covered by Spidos. Leduc past Deca. This ball careening around the outside. Drippe will counter it. Jules moves underneath him very aggressively, but manages to recover onto the wall. Leduc catches it on the far side, loses control though. And Drippe will go for the slow play against Spidos. Leaves it for Deca. This will get past one. Walcott with a critical stop, but Jules takes over control. Drippe looking for bumps in net, but too much space behind him. The bumps wouldn't even matter. This one over the top.
They got him?
Deca's got to get there. No! Leduc catches the give me shot, and they go to game 7.
Oh, and Drippe thinking a different challenge. Again, you know, it's that you're just caught creeping forward towards the play. The one wicked challenge comes out, and of course, it's straight into the net over your head before you can get there. I mean, look at the shot differential here. That's 19? Is that 19 for Cringe Society?
19 shots.
Oh my goodness.
To 7.
And you lose.
That's wild. Absolutely wild. And look at the performance from Drippe. All 4 goals. Only 1 assisted here from Jules and 1 save. That is such a clean. You show me this scoreboard other than goals, and I assume Cringe Society is won by a margin. 9 saves Riot had to put up in this game, and yet the crazy bad beat on the ceiling is what sends us to game 7. They're still alive.
It tells you all you need to know about how those goals were scored on Cringe Society. Not in position, not ready to stop something like that.
and in
and now you go
overtime.
to game 7, so now, you know, Yummy and Jake both look like geniuses.
Oh, they're both pretty smart people. But yeah, not the way you ever want to lose in overtime on an open net. Can't get back in time. But game 7, both of these teams, tournament lives hanging in the balance. And who scored Cringe? That was Riot. Man, first goal has still hung true even after the wild comeback of game 6. Jules sends it to the edge. Walcott puts it high. Drippe down to Deca, but Deca is just moving back, and Spidos will take control. Sends it to the corner. Jules waits it out, and Leduc gives him the space, so Jules now the full length of the field. Off the wall, Deca's there.
Oh,
Can he find Drippe? Just sends it the shot. Jules got the zone on Walcott. He goes around the back, comes over the top of Jules, and on a counterattack, Leduc nearly puts it in.
You are having to work overtime, and 3 people stuck here in the corner. Deca, that is a massive job to get that ball past the line and let everyone spread out there.
There's Drippe onto the backboard. Here's Jules looking for it, but Walcott will break up the pass. The first minute will come and go quietly for the first time in a while. Walcott off the wall, Leduc's there, open net. Cringe Society, Riot Gaming have the lead.
From both sides, Walcott on defense and now on offense. Nothing fancy, just got under it, little double jump, beat the defender and get out of the way for Leduc. He made it look easy.
Well, as I said, the first minute came and went quietly, but just barely. First one going in at 3:55. So Leduc on this side, it's a pass Jules. And now off the corner, excellent setup. Spidos there, but blocked on the challenge. Follow-up going to stay on the ground as Drippe and Deca will find the counter touch at the midfield. Leduc, a soft one, but Jules up towards Deca. Deca gets a bump onto Walcott, but can't recover in time to get control of the ball himself. Now this pinch long ways across the field. And Drippe will come out of the third. Man just cranks it to the net. Spidoj has a save, but there's that nasty double commit you were talking about. That left them open. Had the clear not been so strong. Here's Jules with the shot. Walcott gets a save. Spidoj getting zoned by Jules. And Leduc gets demolished on the way back in. Drippe gonna put pressure on Spidoj. He puts it high. Both players up for it here. Walcott stays on the wall. And Drippe will try to connect with Deca. Leaves it in front of the box. Deca crashed in, but Walcott had it red.
And what you really got to be careful here from Cringe Society is do not give away a free runaway. So many conceded in the previous game. Cannot afford any of those. Do not get caught too far forward.
As Drippe sends it onto the backboard. Needing to keep that strong third line. Very critical, as you said. Now here's Leduc looking for a pass upfield.
Just got him.
Jules is there, but Spidoj will keep it trapped and into the box.
Off the corner. Oh, not with the power they need. I don't know if this one has legs.
Oh, Jules out. Drippe's chasing this one into a corner. He's going to need Deca. Here he comes. Shoots on target. Drippe tries to bump Leduc, but Leduc gets enough onto it to get it away. And now the counterattack.
Nice.
It's through Jules. Walcott towards the goal. Drippe trying, and Spidoj can't push it through him. It's over to the edge. Here comes Leduc through the air. Shot on target. Deca got the save. And Jules now looking for the counterattack. We're across halftime. Cringe trailing by 1. And yet to really get it meaningfully towards the goal.
Getting creative there in the corner. They're trying to see if they can get that defense to bite early on something. Get caught out of position. There's Jules. Spidoj diving across out of the corner, able to make the save. And a nice long clear will vent the air for Riot. And a demo on the goal line just to try and make it 2. Walcott has something. And make it 3, and Drippe made it. You're kidding. What? They got 3 demos, and Drippe, the last man alive, is able to kick it out.
I don't believe what I'm seeing right now. The player off of respawn gets back in the net, and they demolish him too. And Drippe says, it does not matter. I'll play this entire game by my dang self. And Walcott now on the long way, though. Do they catch him with their pants down? No, it's wide of the goal. Jules will get it off the edge. Final minute approaching. A follow-up shot is wide. Drippe puts it high. Cringe Society, they had the lead in the series early. They rallied back. They nearly finished off in Game 6, and now yet to score in Game 7 as the nail in the coffin continues to try and be hammered on target. 50 seconds left. Here's Deca. Drippe now on the edge. Well, just goes for it. Oh, yeah! Brilliant! Brilliant play. Deca clears the way, and Drippe ties the game.
Drippe with a galaxy brain dribble. Doesn't panic, just lets his teammates get in Walcott's way. Walcott has been so strong defensively. Drippe says, I'm going to take my time, give me an opening. And boy, did they. They shove Walcott up the wall, and they tie it up with under a minute.
Oh, misses. No, this can't go in. No way.
No, he's got it.
Cool. Leduc gets back in time. That was the goal that determined who played in the grand finals. I was going to lose my mind. I'm losing it a little bit, you can tell. Spidoj over to the corner. Here's Walcott with a shot, trying to take the lead back. Deca, excellent backflip, and Jules, quick adjustment here to take control in the corner. 20 seconds left. They stall it out. Both teams. We've had two overtimes. Each team has 1-1 apiece.
Oh,
Walcott looking to finish off now. Here's Spidoj for 2. Deca makes the save backwards in his goal. 7 seconds left. Overtime in Game 7. Deca says yes. Sends it away one more time. Drippe doesn't take control, and Jules will just punt it to the other side. Let's hit it to the ground. Let's go to golden goal. Next goal goes to the grand finals.
All right, if I'm Riot Gaming, seeing how many times that a counterattack straight up the middle has put Cringe Society in a tough spot, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, Deca trying. The counterattack game has been so strong this series, you're right. As Jules comes through towards the goal, Spidoj puts it high, and Walcott gets zoned by Jules, but there's no follow-up from the rest of Cringe. And you know, Cringe has already lost their 1 overtime on a wind-up rotation, and it's through! They pulled them all up to the front, pinch it through. Leduc sends Riot Gaming to the grand finals.
Huge block from Spidoj, and Jules is just he's playing right on him because they're both coming from opposite sides. No one's layered. They're just at the same line, and they think that challenge is going to go differently. When it stalemates, they can't actually move in because they can't afford the double commit, and all it takes is one bad challenge, and there it is. Riot Gaming knock off Cringe Society, and they're back up into the grand finals through the long road.
the long road, but they've earned this opportunity to play against Ground Zero. And what a battle. They had to win 2 overtimes in a row, stave off a 3-goal comeback, and they have earned this opportunity on, what is that, 12 shots? My goodness, 12 shots and 11 saves. This team had to do so much work in the thirds. The game, the ball spent so little time in the midfield in these games of Chiefs. It was just end zone to end zone, and Riot emerges on top.
Yeah, especially, you know, once we got into those later series, it was really just punt if you need to and see what happens. And more often than not, Riot come out on top. The stability of the defense got there. You know, early on it was a little wishy-washy, but past that point, they really forced Cringe Society to be aggressive and make a big play, and they had enough, you know, wooden planks to keep holding the door shut.
They did. There's just enough there to finish it off, but that does leave us with just one more match, and it's the big one. The team that wins this one will be the Oceanic Winter Major champions, and we can't wait to see it. It's going to be Ground Zero versus Riot Gaming, coming at you after the break.